Alright, so I found the best solo drop spots for arena and tournaments. But really quickly, remember that for every one supporter on code SonataYT, 100 V-Bucks will be added to the 10k sub giveaway prize. Alright, let's hop into it. So the order of drop spots that I'm going to be going in is the least amount of loot to the most amount of loot. So starting off at the bottom drop spot, we are going to have the Dirty Docks crash site. Now I'm going to run down the list of exactly what this drop spot has to offer. This POI has 10 chests, 1 vending machine, mats from the metal areas in dirty, brick from the walls in rocks, and wood from the trees around the area. It also has some cars for rotation. However, keep in mind that there is going to be around 2 people max in the area, but watch out for the people from Dirty Docks. It's very easy for them to third party you. And I'm going to put the loot route up here on screen. Now this is a really good drop spot for those of you that want to land somewhere slightly more uncontested. This is a place that seems like it's going to be contested, but it really won't be. A lot of people land here if they want to get a good amount of loot in a quick amount of time. And due to the slipstreams that have been added, it's a lot faster to loot this area. This is really good for the solo catch cup players that want to try to play a bit more passive, because this POI is on the edge of the map. And even though you have the slipstream to help you rotate, it's still going to be a bit of a challenge to get out of the area. So the next drop spot I'm going to be going over is the blue cube split. Some of you guys may want to call this cube the Sonata cube, because it does have my color scheme. But all jokes aside, this POI has 8 chests, 2 crates, 1 vending machine, a launch pad for rotation, a car nearby the bridge, and 2 people max in the area. And it also has metal from the alien outpost, brick from all of the walls in the alien outpost, and wood from the trees around the area. And keep in mind that this POI will have 2 people absolute maximum in the area. And please watch out for people W keying from the Camp Cod place. And once again, I'm going to be putting the loot route up on screen right now. This is the most efficient loot route for those of you guys to land. Basically, just start off where the arrow starts, and then finish where the arrow finishes. The loot route is going to be pretty straightforward for this one, and this is a great drop spot for those of you who want to loot really quickly and get into the mid game kind of quickly. If you guys want to try and W key but not land a POI, this is one of the best spots because you have a launch pad to rotate out with. Keep in mind that some people from Misty might attempt to key you if they want to, but that's going to be pretty unlikely. Now the next landing location for solos is going to be a lot more chests. It's going to be known as the Shantytown crash site area. Now you guys may notice that a lot of these solo drop spots that I'm choosing are a bit more of splits, and the reason for that is because a larger area equals more loot. And in solos, it's really easy to cover a larger area because you don't need to wait for any teammates. Now this Shantytown crash site area has 16 chests, a ton of slurp barrels, tons of metal from the fences, the brick from the rocks, and wood from trees. And it also has a slipstream for rotation, and there's going to be 2 people absolute maximum in the area. However, keep in mind that there are people near Sludgy Swamp, Holly Hedges, and the Logjam Woodworks area, and they potentially might key you if they get the opportunity. Your rotations out of this spot need to be very good. However, using the slipstream, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. There's also some Kevin cubes near it, and you guys can pop those if you want to do an invisible type of rotation across the map. I would recommend that you guys try to pop those for the mid game, and you can even fish around the area if you want to. Fishing has been buffed slightly this season, and it's much more likely that you're going to be getting more fish from actual fishing spots. So that's one strategy that I would recommend. I'm going to be putting the loot route up on screen for this POI. This is a really good POI for those of you that want to have really good loot throughout the mid and late game, and it's going to help you a lot throughout those 2 parts. Especially if you guys are playing in a bit more stacked lobbies, Surge is going to be pretty easy. You're going to be able to get Surge tags on Sludgy Swamp kids and Holly Hedges kids, and just make sure that they don't hold you into zone. Now the second best drop spot to land at in Chapter 2 Season 8 is going to be the gas station crash site. You guys might remember this from previous seasons, but recently it's been buffed due to the new map updates. So one of the crash site areas has been located here, and in this POI you guys can find 18 chests, a mending machine, cars for rotation, noms from the gas station, metal from the bridge, brick from rocks, wood from trees, and you'll find 3 people max in the area to contest you. Now while this is a bit more of a contested area, it's a lot easier to escape it than other places. There's a lot of cars around the area for you guys to rotate with, and once again you guys do have the slipstream depending on if you want to use that. I would recommend that you guys try to watch out from the players coming in from dirty, because they might potentially key you, but this is a fantastic drop spot for those of you that want a lot of loot very quickly. There is a lot of chests in a very small amount of space here. Looting this area will give you guys very good loot for the rest of the game. And now the final drop spot that I would recommend to you guys is the Stealthy Stronghold crash site split. Now this POI is going to have up to 21 chests, 3 henchman crates, a launch pad for rotation, a car nearby for rotation, 4 people maximum in the area, and also a bunch of wood from the trees, metal from the alien outpost, and then brick from the rocks around the area. If you land this POI, most likely you're going to be contested by a lot of people, and you do need to watch out from people landing this new alien POI. And because the crash site is right next to you, obviously you do have the slipstream for rotation. I'm going to put this loot route up on screen. This is one of the best POIs if you guys want to loot very quickly and have very good loot quickly. I know a lot of people struggle with going off spawn and not getting very good loot until later in the game. This is one of the POIs that combats that the best, and it's also really easy to to rotate out of it. As false as it may seem, Stealthy Stronghold is actually pretty close to the center of the map. Within about 30 seconds, you can be pretty close to Bony Burbs in the center of the map for rotation, which is why I would recommend this POI to people who are really good at fighting and W keying, and people who can stay strong and alive throughout the game. But overall, this POI is really good for people who choose to try to W key a bit more. Now really quickly before this video ends, I do want to show you guys what the best way to create a drop map for your POI is. I have covered this in videos past, but this is a really new method in order to do it, and I'm going to be using the same website that I used before. Now this website is known as landingtutorial.com, and if you guys want to check it out, go to the first link in the description. This website is extremely good for those of you that want to accurately see what the best time to jump and deploy your glider is for a certain POI. So using one of the POIs that I listed in game, let's do this little Syrupy swamp area. I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to move it over to exactly where this is in game. Obviously it still does have the season 7 map, but you can generally see where the best place to deploy your glider is. It's going to be the same shape anyway. Then you can take the bus and just turn it around to whatever way that you want, really. It's a good idea to have as many angles as you possibly can, and then just click find best drop. Then it's going to show you exactly when you should jump from the bus and when you should deploy your glider. And what you can do is mark down this red location and then mark down this blue location based on the bus pattern. And what you can do is just go around your POI with various different bus locations and keep clicking find best drop to see when the best time to jump and deploy your glider is. And then just keep marking them down on a piece of paper. Once again, keep going around as usual. And then once you're done with that, you'll have your drop map fully ready. A finished drop map is most likely supposed to look like this. And as long as you guys follow all the instructions that I went over before, nothing should be much of an issue. There are people that you can get to make custom-made drop maps, and those are more professional ones, but realistically I don't think you need it, and as long as you follow these steps of going all around with different bus patterns, you should be good for the most part. Obviously bus patterns like this are going to be unrealistic, and some more common bus patterns are stuff like this. This type of bus pattern is also very common, and as long as you do all of the trial and error, you should be good for the most part. And obviously guys, in previous videos I have shown what the best way to make a loot route is. Be sure to check out that video in the top right corner if you guys are interested. And let me know if any of the drop spots, absolutely any of them, help you out in placing, getting arena points, popping off in scrims, whatever it is, please let me know in the comments. I don't think you guys realize how happy it makes me to see that people are using my tips and putting them to the best of the use. And if you guys do that, I will be sure to heart and pin your comment. And please keep in mind that 100% chest spawn is still not in the game. I'm assuming it's going to be around 80 or 90% this season, which is a little bit of a bonus, but it's still not going to be where we were before Chapter 2 Season 4. Anyways guys, that is the video on the 5 best solo drop spots from worst to best. With all of these new map updates during Chapter 2 Season 8, I'm sure there's many more that I forgot to cover in this video. If you guys find any, please leave them in the comments below. Be sure to check out all of my socials and consider using code SonataYT. But that's about it for this video guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.